if it was up to me deciding where I was gonna go at what time, like, success would ruin me, man. Success, you know, it almost ruined me a couple years ago with my last project, just becoming egocentric and proud off of a little bit of success. So I could imagine with a ton of success what that would have been like. Rapzilla.com. I had a little bit of success and I started ego tripping. Like, I had a little bit, like, you know, I sold a couple records, was making good money doing shows at colleges, getting flown out, but I was by myself. You know, like, I was by myself making good money. Like, we was making really good money, and even though, like, you know, I wasn't doing the Christian conferences and doing all this, like, the stuff that we in Christian hip hop think, like, I was doing secular colleges, but I was making good money doing that, flying, and, you know, traveling is so different when you're by yourself, you know, and just making a little bit of good money, like, I, in my heart, was like, yo, first of all, this ain't, I don't want to really do it like this. This is mad lonely. Like, sure, I'm making great money, but I'm mad lonely. And then it's like, you really start thinking you're somebody because you're making good money doing what you love to do. Again, that unchecked, I think, can ruin you. You know, and I'm not saying like it ruined, like I was gonna go and, you know, wild out and have this big scandal, but searching my own heart. You know, I think if we're really honest as artists, man, there's always this tension of like, am I doing it to honor God, or am I doing it because I like to be on stage and I'm kind of narcissistic? And I think if we're really vulnerable and honest with ourselves, man, it's pretty cool being on stage and having people know the words to your songs. You know, how do you navigate that? And again, that's what a lot of this album is exploring. This Do For One album is like, man, it's like my story, but on an extreme magnified, right? How do you explore that? Because it's not cookie cutter, I do it for Jesus. And so now, like, if I search my own heart, man, sometimes, you know, I'm arrogant, I'm prideful, and that's just the truth, you know. And I'm gonna show you how I am, as much as I'm going to show you who I am. I'm a Christian, I'm a saint, I'm born again. But I'm also going to show you how I am. I'm a human, I'm a person, I struggle, I have issues, right? And you're going to get that full spectrum in my music. I wanted to do a narrative of a story, and so it's really kind of like the extreme version on what if I would have made it, right? Like in an ulterior universe, something would have happened, and what if it really would have made it on that level of success, superstardom. Like, that's kind of what this record is. It's my story, but what if I would have really taken off, right? What would have happened? And that's what happens in the narrative of the record, is you lose total, you know, grounds of reality. I think every artist wants tons of sales. You want to sell, you know, 100,000 records, 500,000 records. You want to make a ton of money. You want to be famous, you know. And then for me, I got around famous people and I got around wealthy people, and I'd hang out with people and go in public with people, and like, this ain't really everything it's cracked up to be. I was at a Bible study a couple weeks ago in LA. I met the campus pastor for a Bible study that Justin Bieber goes to on Wednesday nights, and I just was out there. We were doing some press for Belief, and I checked it out, and we were walking out, and I was like, it's Justin Bieber, interesting, you know. He's trying to be incognito, low key. He's walking out, and he's maybe, I don't know, 10 feet above me, in front of me. And he goes down, and I stop, and I turn around, wait for Belief, and we went left, and I stop. As I'm waiting for them, a couple girls rush up trying to chase Justin Bieber at Bible study, and the security is like, hey, I can't let you go down there. And she's like, but I want to meet him. She's crying, right? I don't want to meet him. And he's like, I'm sorry, like, this isn't the place for that, you know. And I would imagine, like, man, what would it be like in his shoes? So, you know, you give a 19, he said it like, my life is what happens when you give a 19-year-old millions, right? You give this dude, he becomes super successful, superstar, and then he's trying to get his life together, and he's trying to follow Jesus, and he's going to a Bible study, and he's still getting bombarded with fans. He can't, like, you lose so much freedom there, you know. And it's like, do you really want that? I don't know if I want that. I don't know if you want that type of platform, you know, where you can't be normal anymore. And we don't really talk about this a lot in the church. We don't really, it's all, you know, it's either like one extreme, like God wants you rich and famous, or the other extreme, God wants you poor and he wants you to sell everything you own and go be a missionary in the jungles of Peru. You know, like, it's one or two extremes, but it's like, nah, what about that contentment? What about, like, I'm thankful right where I'm at?